Special thanks to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay Tanner, and today I wanted to talk about Disney. Disney has been a juggernaut of the entertainment industry for quite a while, and I think they have the potential and resources to keep that going for another 100 years, maybe even more. But I honestly think the company is losing the plot. Disney has been floundering for a while now, taking hits at practically every aspect of their business. Their movies haven't been performing as expected, their stock has been plummeting, and their parks have been underperforming due to recent events. In 2020, their CEO Bob Iger stepped down and was replaced with Bob Chepek, hoping he could turn the company around, but that didn't end up happening. Then there was a major shakeup this weekend, where Bob Iger came back to replace Bob Chepek. He's supposed to be there for 2 years while they look for a permanent replacement, and we'll have to see how that goes. Admittedly, I don't have much faith in Iger. A lot of these issues were happening under his watch, but I'm not a fan of Chepek either. Chepek said in an interview with the Wall Street Journal that adults don't care for animated movies and instead want something for them, implying live action over animation, which is surprising to hear considering the fact that he runs a company that's built a media empire off of these animated movies, and they did it by making movies for all ages, not only children. It's also the opposite attitude that Walt Disney had, who even went on record saying you're dead if you only aim for kids, and adults are just grown-up kids anyway. So not the best attitude to have. Disney's stock has managed to recover some lost ground since Iger was brought back in, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last. The company's future depends on good creative decisions. I don't really trust Iger to be the one to do that, so we're gonna have to see how this goes. Before I continue, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN is a digital tool. It encrypts your data and hides your location whenever you're on the internet and from any device. Atlas is dedicated to making the internet accessible along with being safe and secure for everyone, and it's so affordable. They're currently offering a Black Friday deal where you can get a premium plan for only $1.70 per month, along with 6 additional months on top of that. Plus they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, and using Atlas can save you more money on top of that. You can change your location to anywhere in the world they have a server, and companies offer different prices depending on what market you're in. So by changing your location, you can find better prices, including subscription services. This has other benefits too, like being able to access region-locked content, both on subscription services like Netflix and also on YouTube. If something's not available in your country, you can hop over to another server and watch whatever you want. Atlas keeps your internet browsing safe, and stops ads and malware, and it notifies you when someone's trying to steal your data, so make sure to take advantage of this offer while you can. It's the best Atlas VPN deal of the year, so check out the link in the description, and safe surfing. Disney has been focusing a lot on their live-action remakes of their classics. This might be because they think they can reach a wider audience with live action, while also taking advantage of people's nostalgia, but I have concerns about them. First of all, I worry about quality over quantity, since they have quite a few coming out soon. I also don't like the way they treat the source material, and it doesn't seem they even understand why they were successful in the first place, and they tend to insist on making changes that I'm not sure are necessary. For example, one of Disney's upcoming live-action remakes is Hercules. In an interview with the producer Joe Russo, he says that he wants to do more than just reinterpret the original film. It's true these movies have been criticized for being too close to the original, but that's largely because these movies are classics and probably don't need a remake. For example, The Lion King was very financially successful, but it did face criticism for being too close to the original. They decided to stick to a photorealistic style for the movie, but I think that ended up working against the movie. While the movie was entirely animated, they wanted to give the impression of live action, including having the animal characters not show emotion the same way a real animal would, instead of in the original film where they were very expressive, but actual lions just don't emote that way. They don't cry or smile. So now we have two extremes of a very dynamic musical, but not actually conveying that in the photorealistic characters. For these very emotional scenes, they just have the voice actor try to compensate with their voice work, but it has trouble coming through for the scenes. So while it's true The Lion King got criticism for being too close to the original, in the end it didn't really matter if they stuck close to the source material or changed it, because they're stuck with this photorealistic style that doesn't allow the characters to emote. Then there are films like Pinocchio which do stray away from the source material and to the detriment of the movie. Pinocchio is the story of a boy who makes mistakes and learns from them while also learning about life and growing as a person. But in the remake, he's not actually allowed to make mistakes. He does try to do the right thing and listen to his conscience, but for one reason or another it doesn't work out. Like in the remake, he actually does go to school and ignores the temptation to join the puppet show, only to get kicked out and mocked for being a puppet. What was he supposed to do about that? You can't really fault him for going off with Honest John and Gideon now. And then they undercut the main message of the movie by having Pinocchio use lying to his advantage, when the entire point of the first movie was that you shouldn't lie even if it's easier. Since the blue fairy never comes to save him, he lies a lot to get his nose to grow and get the keys, which implies that lying is beneficial, and you should do it if it's to your advantage. What kind of message is that? How could they mess up Pinocchio this badly? So even if Disney chooses to change things from the source material, it doesn't actually mean the film will improve because of it. Both approaches can end up leading to a subpar product. Instead, he claims that the Hercules remake is going to be more modern and take inspiration from TikTok. In a statement, he says, "There are questions about how you translate it as a musical. Audiences today have been trained by TikTok, right? What is their expectation of what that musical looks like and feels like? This can be a lot of fun and help us push the boundaries a little bit on how you execute a modern musical," which seems kind of strange. Oftentimes, songs from musicals will trend on TikTok, like We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. Shouldn't Disney try to influence TikTok instead of get influence from TikTok? I also think he's overthinking things. I'm sure modern audiences would be fine with a musical just the way they are. They don't have to crack some TikTok formula to be successful. Plus, focusing too much on making something modern could end up making the movie dated, even when the film first releases, since the internet moves much faster than movie production. Hopefully they don't rely on referencing memes, because that's not going to go well for them. It didn't work out for Thor Love and Thunder, but instead of the company learning from that, they're going to pull from TikTok, and it kind of comes off as being desperate to try to relate to the young people. What are they going to do, replace the labors of Hercules with TikTok challenges? Come on Disney, make trends, don't chase them. And it doesn't seem like the other films they're making are much more promising. Way back in 2018, my sister Em and I made a video defending Disney princesses. There are a lot of stereotypes and, in my opinion, unfair criticism surrounding these movies and characters, and unfortunately it doesn't seem to have changed much over the years, and Disney itself seems to have been embracing it. Both Halle Bailey and Rachel Ziegler, who will be playing Ariel and Snow White in their respective upcoming remakes, have both gone on record saying that their characters will no longer be defined by needing a man's love, which I think is a fundamental misunderstanding of their characters, and these movies in general. It kind of sounds like they just haven't seen them in a while. Ariel was obsessed with the surface world long before she ever saw Eric. She had a whole grotto full of things she'd collected over the years, and earlier in the movie we saw what she would do just to get a fork, risking her and Flounder's life from a shark attack. She sings part of your world before she sees Eric, so simplifying her character like this is clearly not fair. It was Ursula who made it all about a kiss when she gave her the contract to give her legs. She's taking advantage of Ariel after her father destroyed her grotto, everything she worked for over the course of her life, and in that moment she probably would have taken any deal to get away from him. She likes Eric, but she also needs to kiss him or else she'll go back to being a mermaid, which is the last thing she wants right now. So when Bailey says it's not all about a boy, it's about what she wants for herself and her life, well, the truth is that's always been the case. As for Snow White, I think it actually could benefit from a remake, but I don't trust this team to do it. It doesn't seem they understand the significance of Snow White. Not only was it Disney's first animated feature, it was the first animated movie ever. There were a lot of hurdles they had to overcome, including technical limitations. They were actually planning to do a lot more with the prince, but they found him difficult to animate, so because of that he's only in 2 scenes, and extremely underdeveloped. But that wasn't a conscious choice, it was something they had to do to finish the movie. Rachel Ziegler states, in 1937, the cartoon was so focused on her finding true love, and it's not even in her mind at all in this film. First of all, that's an oversimplification of things. Since they were dealing with technical limitations, they just wanted to hit the major story beats and move on. But also they're dismissing Snow White's character. Her kindness and compassion is a major asset to her, especially considering the fact that she's been abused her entire life, forced into servitude in her own castle, and her stepmother is actively trying to kill her. And despite all of that, she still manages to be positive. So if she wants to indulge in fantasies for escapism, I think she can. They want to fix the movie, but they don't understand what could use improvement to begin with, and they don't seem interested in expanding on what was already there. Just basically make a new movie and slap the original title on it for nostalgia bait. And that's unfortunate because there is potential here, but they're wasting it. I think it'd be better to just make new stories with original characters, instead of remaking older movies in general. It seems like Disney is dropping the ball on all fronts. It feels like Disney isn't really looking at the long-term impact that their decisions are going to have on the company and these franchises. Disney doesn't need to fix what isn't broken, and they don't need to worry so much about modernity, especially when it's constantly changing. Sometimes it's almost like they're embarrassed of their original work, but that's what got them all their success in the first place. We'll have to see what direction Iger takes the company. A lot can happen in 2 years, but those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? Are you excited for Disney's future or apprehensive? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our members: Stutania, Tyrant Carnivore, Adam K, Shiny Orc Boy, The Rabbit Mancer, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Sandy Martin, Verdant Range, Butcher7 Actual, Dash Hound, JVR, Hussyman42, Nixel, Eric Griffin, Phil C, Taylor Ramirez, Caleb Nelson, Bandito Bane, Hunter Rose, Dakari the Professor, Equestron, Owen Wildish, Norman Sweetcream, Way Beyond Coincidence, and Garcia XV Legend. Thank you all so much for your support. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have a buy me coffee if you want to support us that way. But if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like and subscribe to the channel, which helps us out a lot too, and it's free. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.